So, you've booked the flight and double-checked your hotel? Not so fast. In 2025, the TSA has rolled out some sneaky new passport and ID rules that could turn your dream trip into a travel nightmare. Here are 5 TSA 2025 passport and ID rules that could wreck your travel plans. Even regular travelers are getting stopped over changes they didn't see coming. One of the most misunderstood rules in international travel has to do with passport validity. Just because your passport isn't expired doesn't mean it's good to go. Many countries require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned date of departure from their country. That means if you're heading abroad for a 2-week vacation and your passport expires 5 months from now, you could still be denied boarding before you ever leave the U.S. This 6-month rule is strictly enforced in popular destinations throughout Europe's Schengen area, large portions of Asia, the Middle East, and several countries in South America and Africa. Even countries with close ties to the U.S., like Thailand or Brazil, follow this rule. Unfortunately, many travelers only find out at the airport, when it's already too late. Don't risk it. Before you even book that international flight, head to the U.S. State Department's country information pages and check the entry requirements for your destination. Each country has its own policies, and they can change without much notice. For peace of mind, set a calendar reminder 9 months before your passport expires, and begin the renewal process proactively. This gives you a comfortable window to renew without paying rush fees or dealing with long wait times. A little preparation today can save you from major disappointment tomorrow. In an effort to modernize and simplify the travel process, the U.S. State Department launched an online passport renewal system, potentially a game-changer for travelers. This pilot program allows eligible U.S. citizens to renew their passports from the comfort of home, avoiding long lines, paperwork, and in-person appointments. But there's a catch. Not everyone qualifies. To use this new system, your most recent passport must have been issued when you were 16 or older, within the last 15 years, and must not be damaged. Your name also must be unchanged from your current passport. If you meet these criteria, congratulations! You can complete your renewal online in just minutes. No printing, no mailing, no post office, but convenience doesn't eliminate processing time. Standard service takes 6 to 8 weeks, and during peak periods like summer or the winter holidays, it can balloon to 10 to 12 weeks. Need it faster? Expedited service is available for an extra $60, reducing turnaround to 2 to 3 weeks. For urgent international travel within 14 days, your only option may be an in-person appointment at one of 26 U.S. passport agencies, which are often booked weeks in advance. Check your passport's expiration date today. If you're eligible for the online renewal, use it before the rush. And if you're not, give yourself extra time to renew the traditional way. Planning ahead means fewer headaches later. Traveling with children isn't just about snacks and screen time. It comes with unique TSA and border security rules that can derail your entire trip if overlooked. For domestic flights, children under 18 don't need identification as long as they're flying with a parent or legal guardian. However, international travel is an entirely different story. Every child, including infants, must have their own passport. No exceptions. This rule often catches first-time travelers off guard, especially those carrying infants as lap children. If you're traveling with a child who isn't biologically yours, or if you share custody, you'll need a notarized consent letter from the absent parent or legal guardian. This letter should grant permission for the child to travel, include dates, destinations, and contact details for the non-traveling parent. Border officers in countries like Canada, the UK, and others frequently ask for this, and they have the authority to deny entry or hold you up for hours if documentation isn't in order. What can you do to stay ahead? Prepare a travel folder with copies of each child's passport, birth certificate, health insurance card, and any custody or consent paperwork. Keep both physical and digital copies in your carry-on or securely stored online. Some parents even include a recent photo of the child in case of emergencies. When customs officers request these documents, you'll be thankful you didn't leave anything to chance. These new rules could have a major impact on your next trip, and you won't want to be caught off guard. Stay ahead by knowing exactly how these changes affect your travel. Smash that subscribe button now so you never miss out on travel tips that could save your next vacation from turning into a nightmare. Yes, the dreaded 311 liquids rule still applies in the U.S., but change is slowly on the horizon. To recap, all liquids, gels, and aerosols must be in containers no larger than 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, fit into a quart-sized clear plastic bag. And you're only allowed one bag per passenger. Forgetting this rule can mean saying goodbye to your favorite lotion, perfume, or bottle of pricey sunscreen at the checkpoint. Here's where it gets interesting. The UK and select European airports are starting to phase out the 311 rule altogether. Thanks to advanced computed tomography, CT scanners, security staff can now get a more detailed 3D look at the contents of your bag, making the clear plastic bag and tiny bottles unnecessary in some places. Airports like London City and Teesside have already implemented these scanners, and Heathrow, Gatwick, and others are expected to follow. But don't toss that quart bag just yet. While this tech revolution is in progress, U.S. airports and most global destinations still enforce the 311 rule strictly. And even if your departure airport doesn't require it, your arrival or connection airport might. You could face issues during your return flight or layovers. Also, TSA officers in the U.S. continue to confiscate over 30 gallons of oversized liquids daily from travelers who thought they'd get a pass. Until the new scanners are universal, the safest bet is to stick with the rule, and always double-check policies for each airport on your itinerary. Not arriving early is still the #1 mistake travelers make, which is absolutely 100% avoidable. Not giving yourself enough time at the airport can create problems. Every single day, travelers miss flights not because of bad weather or airline errors, but because they simply showed up too late. The TSA strongly recommends arriving at least 2 hours before domestic flights and 3 hours before international flights. But here's the real tip. During high-volume periods like summer travel, holidays, or spring break, add an extra hour on top of that. You'll thank yourself later. Too many people assume that having TSA pre-check or clear gives them a free pass to arrive at the last minute. That's a risky move. These programs may get you through security faster, but they do nothing to help with traffic jams, packed parking garages, long airline check-in lines, baggage drops, or passport documentation issues. One hiccup, and you're sprinting, or worse, stuck, while your plane takes off without you. Some major U.S. airports screen 70,000-plus passengers per day at a single checkpoint, and wait times can triple during peak hours. Combine that with sudden gate changes or increased ID verification, and even seasoned travelers can find themselves scrambling. Here's a pro move. Check your airport's live security wait times online before leaving home, and build in buffer time for Murphy's Law. Because the cost of arriving too early? Maybe a little boredom. But the cost of arriving too late? A missed vacation? A lost connection? Or a complete travel disaster? These 5 passport and ID rule changes might seem like tiny technicalities, but they pack a punch if you overlook them. A small oversight, like a passport that's about to expire or forgetting a notarized letter for your child, can instantly escalate into a travel nightmare. Think missed flights, denied boarding, last-minute cancellations, and hours of unnecessary stress. It happens to travelers every day. But here's the good news. These disasters are completely avoidable with just a little planning. Knowing the rules and staying ahead of them means you can walk into the airport with confidence, breeze through TSA checks, and enjoy your trip instead of troubleshooting it. So if you want to stay a step ahead of the chaos, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll keep you updated on every critical TSA update, passport policy change, and airport hack you need to know before it can derail your plans.